open it. I now yield 4 minutes to one of the leaders in putting together this bill in the area specifically of investor protection, the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Kanjorski.
The gentleman is recognized for 4 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I rise in support of the confidence agreement and ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. Chairman, this is not a perfect bill, but this is a darn good bill. I know we're going to hear objections on both sides of the aisle, but if you have a chance to look at it, and it's a lengthy bill, the 2,600 pages that are presented to both the House today and within a week or so ahead to the Senate constitute the first revolutionary change of securities laws in the United States since the Great Depression. At that time, we had a tremendous collapse, and our forefathers and predecessors rose to the occasion with establishing a regulatory platform within the United States that made us the envy of the world. We had, in 2008, a collapse and a failure of that system. It primarily grew out of the failure of the regulatory system to use all the powers it had and to keep track with our highly speculative and greedful nature at the time to allow us to go into the tremendous credit crisis that we faced in 2008. To now make an argument that we need do nothing and we will recover and we will prosper is pure ludicrousness. The fact of the matter is there are holes, there are loopholes, there are failures within our system, and we have to cleanse that system and fix that system, and that's exactly what this bill does. I'm pleased to say that I had a part in doing that. I helped prepare one amendment, too big to fail amendment. What we can say to our successors and to our constituents is that never again in the future will there be an unlimited power for financial institutions to grow either in size, interconnectedness, or other negative factors that they can remain and put at jeopardy systemically the economy of the United States and the world. We have the authority vested in our regulators to see that that doesn't happen. If our regulators are able and will use those powers, never again will we face the too big to fail concept of having to bail out some of the largest institutions in the world. Secondly, a large part of this was devoted to investor protection. I can't go through all the elements, but for the first time in history, we're going to allow the regulators to study and come up with rules and regulations that allow fidelity or fiduciary relationship between broker-dealers, investment advisors, and their clients, their customers. Most people in this country think that already exists. It doesn't. After this bill and the use of those new regulations, it will. You can then trust that the advice being given by the broker-dealer or the investment counselor is in your best interest as a customer and not in theirs. We also call for the largest comprehensive study of the Securities and Exchange Commission in the history of the Commission. It will put into place the tools necessary to revise the entire SEC in the future. It also will be the predicate for that type of a comprehensive study to be used in other agencies and commissions of government to allow us the long road of reform in the American government. These things are in the bill. Besides that, we have the capacity to require that no one in the future need worry about the responsibility of the companies they're dealing with as to whether or not they will have counterparties, whether they are relying on representations that are true and false, because we're going to have transparency within the system. We will have, in the other areas dealing with derivatives, we're going to have exchanges. We're going to have disclosure. Never has that happened in the history of the United States. Over the years, the last two decades, we have made attempts and have always failed. This time, we have succeeded. Mr. Speaker, without reservation, I recommend to my colleagues a vote of yes on this bill.
Gentleman from